Hello guys, today is Monday and it's March 7th, 2016. This is the last week of this quarter. It's PSL number 9 and I'm ready to finish up this third quarter strong. So let's get started. Number 1, find the volume and surface area of a sphere with a radius of 5 inches. So the first thing that we're going to do is find the volume. So to do volume, we need to know the formula to find the volume of a sphere. So that formula is 4/3 pi radius to the third, or I like to do it 4 times pi times radius cubed and then divide by 3 at the end. So we're going to go ahead and start by taking our radius, which is 5 inches. So this is going to become 4 times pi times 5 to the third power. So 5 to the third power means 5 times 5 times 5. So 5 times itself 3 times. And when we multiply that out, that's equal to 125. So next, let's take two of the numbers we have up top here, 4 and 125, and we're going to multiply those together, which is equal to 500 pi. And now we're going to divide by 3 before we do our times pi. So 500 divided by 3, and that is equal to 166.6 repeating, and we still have it being multiplied times our pi. So at this point we can take our pi button, and we're going to do 166.6 repeating times the pi button, and that gives us 523.598, and it goes on, but we want to evaluate here. So 9 is bigger than 5, so 0.5 is going to round up to 0.6. So it's equal to 523.6, and we're in inches to the third power for our volume. So that is the volume of our sphere. So we're only halfway done because that is how to find the volume of the sphere, but we still need to find our surface area. So I'm going to erase, and we're going to start by listing the formula for the surface area of a sphere, which is a little bit more simple than volume. So our formula for surface area of a sphere is to do 4 times pi times radius, and it's just radius cubed. So for our radius, we still are using the same sphere with a radius of 5 inches. So now I'm going to take 5 and do 5 to the second power, which means 5 times 5. So that simplifies to 25. So the next step is to continue and multiply out the numbers that are here other than pi. So I've got 4 and 25. So 4 times 25 is equal to 100 times pi. So when we do 100 times, and we're going to use our pi button, we get 314.1592. So in our rounding situation, this is 5 or bigger, so we are going to be rounding 0.1 up to 0.2. So for our surface area, our answer is 314.2 inches, and this time surface area is only squared. Volume was cubed, but surface area is only squared. So those are the two answers for our question number 1. Okay, question number 2, perform a translation of 1 unit to the right and then 2 units down. So if you want to look at this from the point of view of our coordinates, you could go ahead and list those off to the side. And then if you want to think about like moving, 1 unit to the right is going to be right is going to be plus 1 on our x coordinate. And to do 2 units down, that's going to be a -2 on our y coordinates. So over on these coordinates, which I've just listed from where they're located on this graph, you can add 1 to each x. I don't know where that looks funny. Oh. And then you can do -2 on each y if you want to do this the math way. And then you can simplify those by doing like a math problem. So we would have -5 plus 1 is -4, comma, -1 minus 2 is -3. So like our new t is going to be at -4, -3. And if you were to think of it this way too, just going 1 unit to the right and then 2 units down, from t you would be going 1 right and 2 down to get to that point. So that, I mean, is telling us that we've done it correctly. Over here we've got -1 plus 1, so that's going to be at 0, comma, and then -2 minus 2 is -3. So 0, comma, -3, whoops, is right there. And then for this last one, -5 plus 1, we were at -4, and then -3 minus 2 is -5. So our I prime is going to be at -4, and then -5, so way down here. And then all you'll do is just connect those to create your new image. There we go. So that is a transformation, or I'm sorry, a translation, 1 unit right and 2 units down. And like I said, some of you are probably just going to want to do the 1 and then 2 down. 1 unit right, 2 down. Or you can do it by doing all of the coordinates like we did over here. Either way will work just fine. So let's move on to our last question, number 3, and we're going to perform a reflection across our y-axis. So it's really important to notice the axis that they want us to reflect over, and for this one it is for this y-axis, because if it's for the x you have to really watch. This means that our reflection is going to be going over here. If it were being reflected on the x-axis, then we would be reflecting like underneath it on this one, but that's not what they're asking us to do. They're asking us to reflect on the y. So for this one, you're just going to count how many points are you. 1, 2, like this A is located 2 to the right, so its reflection is going to be 2 to the left. So A prime is going to be located over here. And I'll put the A prime. And then we need to do also F. So F is located a total of 5 to the right, so its reflection is going to be a total of 5 to the left. So that is called F prime, or the image of F. Next we'll do the same thing for coordinate P. The image of P is going to be, instead of 5 units to the right, 5 units to the left. That's the image of P. And then W is interesting because it lays right on the y-axis, so we're actually not going to move it at all. It's going to stay right there. W and W prime are going to have the same location. So to finish this image off, I'm just going to connect those new coordinates that I've created over here. A to W, W to P, and then the P to F. And that is your reflection across the y-axis. And that is all for today, so go ahead and put these in your folders. Make sure you keep track. We only have 3 days of PSL this week, and then Thursday we will be having our last PSL quiz for the 3rd quarter.